What's up, my fellow Librans, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Tani Michelle, and we are not all love, light, twin flames, and unicorns over here, so please keep that in mind. And welcome to April and your April tarot and astrology reading. Do remember this is a general reading. Libra risings should resonate to this the most out of all of you, but Libra suns and Libra moons, if that's what you are, may find some things that resonate as well, so make sure to listen to your other signs. So, Libra. What a fucking month we just got out of, right? Am I right? It was not fun at all. I think all of us are a little bit like hung over from Pisces season, you know what I mean? And not even just because maybe we were like drinking or something, just hung over from the vibes of Pisces season. Like the vibes itself, the energy itself was a hangover. And for you, that energy was happening in a place that dealt with your day-to-day life, the things that you're responsible for on a day-to-day basis, your work, your health, your daily routines, all of that stuff. And so it could have been very emotionally and mentally exhausting for you with work and figuring out what you want to do. There could have been a lot of lack of clarity as well with work or even relationships to some extent. You know, I think that you've been really trying to come to some kind of decision or understanding about the future of a relationship in your life or your future in general, or even if you're happy where you're at, if you're happy where you're at in life, if where you're working and the things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis are even like making sense, if they give you any kind of meaning or anything. And so you could have felt very much like you wanted to escape. Like you need a fucking vacation. Basically, after the last month, you could have felt like things were just very overwhelming, exhausting, emotionally and mentally. It may have been very hard for you to find motivation to do the things that you want to do on a day-to-day basis. And you may, honestly, Libra, like one of the things that I wrote down for you was ripping off the rose-colored glasses for April. And that's kind of how I see here, because even your first two cards, the Ten of Swords and the High Priestess, ouch. That is feeling psychically, emotionally, just kind of whooped, you know? And that's that mental and emotional exhaustion I was talking about. You also may be trying to make something work from the past, even though you're not the same person anymore, and even though you've risen above it, if that makes sense. I don't know, that message just kind of randomly came through for some of you, and I just feel like you have been almost forced in a way to not follow what you see, because you cannot see shit right now. I'm filming this and it's like literally the beginning of April, but it's gonna get better towards April, don't worry. It's not like all doom and gloom in April too, but the first part of April, the first few days at least, it may still feel like you still have a little bit of whiplash from the last month. You're having trouble seeing clearly, or this could be somebody in your life, okay? There's somebody in your life or yourself. You're having trouble seeing clearly, and you're having trouble seeing your part in something, or they're having trouble seeing their part in something. Okay, and so I feel like here you have been really, really kind of pushed to trust your intuition, to trust and to go within. Okay, even when it seems like you don't even know if you can trust yourself, even if it seems like you're not sure. Why do I have to go through this? You know where something ends. I don't know, I just really feel like I need to tell you that. You know where something ends, and you keep going. And I think that's what Pisces season was pointing out to you. These vicious circles, these vicious habits that you can sometimes get stuck in. And so some of you guys may be feeling very lost or very vulnerable. Others of you guys may be feeling just very confused about something. A lack of clarity is really what I'm getting here. possibly feeling used, or like you misplaced your trust in something or someone, or like some expectation that you had just did not pan out the way that you thought it would at all. And now that we're moving into all of this Aries energy, especially on the 4th, when Mercury finally moves into Aries, that's when a massive mental shift will finally happen for you, and things will get a little bit easier in the mental realm and in the logic realm. So that this first part of April, like I said, you're still kind of trying to figure shit out. It's still a little bit confusing. It's still a little bit foggy. There's still kind of this lack of clarity. There's still, like, you may not even know how to feel, honestly, for some of you. But as we kind of move forward, you know, you kind of get out of that energy starts to fade. It starts to get a little bit better and better and better, because you basically went through like a detox last month. I mean, this is like some kind of spiritual detox, like for real. Some kind of spiritual detox that you may not see it like that, though. You may see it as it was somebody else's fault, or it was somebody else's shit that somehow you got wrapped up in, or it's the job or whatever, but it's actually very spiritual. You're learning a very spiritual lesson here. And yeah, there could have been some stuff that came up, or some confusion or lack of clarity that came up with like health related things as well, diet, your workplace, your job, things like that. But that's kind of what I'm getting so far. But as we move on to the 4th, Mercury moves into your 7th house with the Sun and Venus. Your ruling planet is in your opposite sign of Aries. So she doesn't really like being here because she has to worry about herself. And that stings a little bit, being a Libra, when you're here to worry about others, right? So what do you do now that you have to worry about yourself? Well, worry about yourself. It's time to detach from the bullshit. The ending has already happened, so you're good. And it's also time to not worry about other people's opinions, perceptions, what they're thinking, what they're doing, what they want, how they see things. It's time to take the blindfold off and look at reality in the face. You can do it. How do I know? Because we have strength in the 2 of Wands, baby cakes. So it's time to start looking ahead and not continue to look behind, because it's not getting you anywhere, and you have more power and strength than you think you do. And this situation is almost pulling that out of you, because you're going to have to make a choice that is going to seem hard, that is going to require a level of strength. Now, for some of you, this could, if it's not like an actual relationship, it could be a friend, an agreement, a commitment with strength here. But it's kind of time to start thinking about, how am I going to move forward, even though it's very hard for you to see where forward is even at right now. The future is possibly a little all over the place for you. But like I said, it will get better, it will get clearer. So once Mercury moves into this, into your 7th house, it will eventually go past Chiron a few days later. So that first like week or 2 of the month, there could be a focus on independence in relationships. There could be a focus on important conversations, patterns, some kind of mental or verbal wounds, or thoughts or perceptions that need to be faced, or fears that need to be faced around that. And if it's not you, then it could be your partner as well. But it's time to stop doing whatever you're doing, because you're playing a part in it and you're only hurting yourself at this point. So hopefully that's making sense so far. I mean, not every message may, like I said, but you know. So on the 9th, Saturn in your 5th house is going to trine the North Node. Now, this, you could notice this a few days before the 9th. You could notice this on the 9th or a few days after the 9th. But you may start feeling very heavily pushed towards solidifying something educational for your future, for your passions, to deal with travel, learning, your beliefs or your outlook, or, you know, some kind of belief system. Or it could even have something to do with your children's future education, belief systems, etc. But you're going to be feeling this very heavy kind of push, like this is the path. And even though it may be hard or difficult, like I know I have to do it. And that's kind of what this is. I feel like, and it's kind of solidifying that, right? But there's still going to be a part of you that doesn't want to, that just wants to kind of hold on. That, you know, I feel like some of you guys are possibly going to be feeling a little bit financially insecure at some point this month, but at the same time, you're not wanting to look at any other options either. So what is it that you fucking want, Libra? That's what you need to be thinking about. What is it that you fucking want? What is it that's going to get you going? What is it that's going to inspire you again? That's going to push you forward. So that's what I see happening around the 9th, give or take. Around the 11th, we have a new moon in Aries in your opposite signs, squaring Pluto and Capricorn in your 4th house. So this could be possibly a new beginning, a new path starts becoming clear around this time, a new situation, or even like a focus on relationships or your partner, but also a challenge, fear, or a possible disruption with your home, family, past, or some kind of change that needs to happen with your home, roots, family, personal life, you know, that is brought on by something to do with a relationship or a partner or a commitment or something along those lines, if that makes sense. So the new moon, you're really going to start, things are going to start becoming more clear, but it's also going to be becoming more clear about what you need to change, let go of, or face, what fear you may need to face to do with your past, your personal life, your home, your family, you know, the more personal aspects of your life. What needs to be let go that's familiar, or what needs to be faced that's familiar, or what needs to be changed that's familiar in order to go for this new beginning, in order to step foot on this new path, basically. And that's going to become very crystal clear around the 11th. It may bring up some fear and some anxiety, though, I'm not going to lie, some challenges, but like I said, you have strength, you have the courage, and it's not about having a lack of fear, right? It's about doing it anyway, even with the fear. So that's the really cool part. So on the 14th, Venus, our ruling planet, will move into your 8th house of money, honey. So this will be really good for like business, or even like investing in something to do with like beauty or pleasure or creativity, or something like even food in some way, like all the Taurian, Venusian things. But it's really bringing up your finances, other people's finances. Venus is normally benefic, so this could be some kind of deal that you're trying to make, or something to do with your finances or somebody else's finances, your partner's finances, or money that's owed to you, or money that you owe in some way. So that's going to start becoming the focus as we get mid to end month. And then on the 15th, Mars, which is the ruler of our opposite sign Aries, will trine Jupiter. Now Mars is in your 9th, Jupiter is in your 5th. So this is going to be possibly some kind of opportunity. This is where the future is going to start becoming clear of what you're passionate about, what you want to do, what you want to learn, where you want to go, what you want to commit to. And, you know, you're going to be feeling more optimistic around the 15th. It's going to start feeling like, okay, like I can do this, like, you know, and it may even bring some kind of opportunity to learn something new that you're actually really passionate about, or to learn something new that's going to bring you a lot of joy and fortune and opportunity in some way. So you definitely want to pay attention to that around that time. And then on the 19th, the Sun and Mercury will join Venus in your 8th house as well. So, and this finance stuff, it's like, you know, you have to watch this month, Libra, that you don't get into some kind of like lack mentality, or that you don't start looking at things as like a competition, because that could be it too, to where, I mean, it could just be all fun and games with the 5 of Wands, or it could end up being some kind of competition to get to a certain point by a certain time for some kind of reason, you know, or comparing yourself to others in some way. And then also you want to watch out for that lack mentality, because that could be very strong this month, especially as we get towards the end of the month. On the 22nd, Venus conjuncts Uranus in your 8th house. Now, this could be really awesome, but there could be some issues with this. So this could be some kind of surprise or unpredictable situation involving your finances or money with another person, resources with another person, services, business with other people. But it's going to be squaring Saturn in your 5th. So, you know, this could also be like a partner's money or something like that. This could be something to do with like an investment or something like that. But what I'm seeing here is that with it squaring Saturn, it seems like you wouldn't take some kind of eccentric, risky, rebellious risk with money or finances or investments, or, you know, you're like worrying about your financial future in some way. But with it squaring Saturn in your 5th, there could be some kind of responsibilities with children, or, you know, with even maybe something that you like, maybe it lacks like passion, or you're lacking what you need to know to do it, or something like that. There's some kind of challenge or issue with this that will need to be worked out, and will also need to be evaluated to see if it's realistic. But you could also be holding yourself back, you know, like, so it could go either way. But yeah, this is interesting. So that's around the 22nd. Then around the 23rd, Mars moves into your 10th house, and this is where career shit is going to be on and popping. Like, career shit is going to be, you are going to be very future focused, very much focused on your goals, your public image, what you want to do out in the world, what you want to achieve out in the world, etc., etc. So you could find some issues with authority figures though, so you do want to be careful with that. And it's in Cancer, and Mars does not like to be in Cancer, so there could be a sense of like moodiness that comes with that, or you could be coming off like very bitchy with your career, or with other people in your career, or authority figures could be coming off that way. But it could also be a time where you're very you're motivated and you want to do things that feel good to you. That's like the big thing right now. It's like you want to do things that feel good to you, that feel comfortable to you this month. There could be some issues with debts or money that's owed to you or to another person as well this month, with the 5 of Swords reversed and the Knight of Pentacles. It's like you could be resolving something that maybe like you know, some kind of financial threat or debt or something like that. And then last but not least, on the 26th, we have that Scorpio full moon. And so that's happening in your 2nd house. So that's some kind of ending, releasing, transition, shift to do with your money, your resources, your finances. So I think you're really kind of possibly doing something financial towards the end of this month. I mean, obviously, but like, I think you're a little bit, there's still some things that need to be figured out before you do. Okay. And so it's interesting. We have the 7 and the 8 of Cups. So you need to make sure that you're being very smart and intelligent about the deals that you're making. If you're doing anything like that, you need to make sure that you are doing things in the right way financially, because Saturn is going to make sure of that. Okay, that you're not doing things just to get over, not that you like would or anything, but to do things just because it's like, you know, fun, but it's not really actually going to be beneficial in the long run. You know, you're really kind of, you want to think about the big picture here, and some of these transits will really help you do that. But the Scorpio full moon could bring up, it's going to bring up your own money, your own resources versus other people's, you know, possible debts, income, your assets, you know. There's definitely something coming up here that's being cleared out in order for something else to come in. And then we end with the Ace of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles. So like I said, the desire, the spark comes back, where at the beginning of the month, you're still kind of like transitioning out of that Pisces energy, but then your focus becomes on your future, becomes on money or your material or physical goals for your future career, what you want to build, you know, your legacy, what you want to leave behind. It becomes very, very much of a huge focus. And that may involve finally making a decision and having to leave something to gain something. Okay, so that is what I see for you here, Libra. Hopefully that ends up resonating. Definitely let me know down below if any of it did resonate so far, and definitely feel free to come back and let me know as well if any of this stuff happens. I'd love to hear about it. And yeah, I love you guys. I do have a new astrological course that is starting on April 7th. So if that's something that you're interested in to learn astrology, it's really geared towards like beginners, then definitely check out the description below or my announcement video. And yeah, I think that's everything. I love you. Bye.